And we're live. Welcome to the OUYACast, episode 32, recorded on Sunday, September 28th, 2014. Your weekly source for the latest news, games, and hacks for OUYAns everywhere. I'm Brandon from OUYAcentral.tv.
And I'm Steve from OUYabrew.com. Thank you guys for joining us for episode 32 of the OUYAcast with special guest producer over at Gamious, which is the team behind the game IO. We're going to talk to him about that a little bit later. And got some Ouya news to start you guys out with. So, Brandon, take us away, sir.
All right, we have a new release of Never Ending Nightmare. Has a 10% off launch sale until this Friday coming, to October 3rd. You can get it for $13.49, and that ends this Friday. So it's a great game that's been out on the Ouya. It finally came out of beta, and it's finally released. So go ahead and check that game out. Also, Space Murder is on sale. It has bots now, plus a 50% off sale until this Tuesday for $2. And that's Space Murder, and it has, like I said, it has bots now, AI added to it, so you can play single player. Because last time on the show, I tried playing it by myself, and it wasn't that very entertaining.
Yeah, playing solo usually is not as fun. I'm glad they added the multiplayer on there, or
Right.
the AI. Sorry.
Yeah. And then also this Tuesday we have Pierre Solar HD that's going to be releasing on PS4, PS3, Steam, and Ouya. It's a game that's been out for a long time, and they remade it. It has HD quality. I think there's a way you can turn the HD on and off, and I don't know. We'll try to see if we can get in touch with them and try to get them on the podcast. That'll be cool. I think it's games by Watermelon Games. Yeah.
Why on earth would you not want to have HD? I would want to have HD the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, but you can take it back retro, old school.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then we have I was just on the OUYAforum.com earlier, and I saw that someone had posted like a deal, and that Ouya at shop.OUYATV, they have a $25 game credit for $20. You get $5 off, and they posted it like 3 days ago, and so they weren't too sure how long it's gonna last. So I went to the website, and it's still up. So if you guys want to get some, like a $20 credit with a free game, there it is. Right there, $5.
That's funny. I actually just posted on our Twitter feed. I guess at Target or somewhere they had. What they did was they printed out a label that for $10 Ouya card, and it was supposed to be $10 obviously, and the print was like running off to the left more than it was supposed to. So when they put it in the actual like little tag inside the thing, it said $0 for $10. I was like, oh man, sign me up.
Right. We is giving away codes at Target.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and they had actually a good deal a couple months back where it was you buy one get the second one like 10% off or something. So I took advantage of that back when that was available. But let's see what else going on. We have Soccertron just had an update, and they now offer a free to try option, where before when they first released they didn't have one. So that's good to see. And I think the price was reduced also. I think when it first came out it was like $4.99, and I think right now it's $2.99. And those let's see, get some detail right here. Pull it up on the OUYAcast. We got the Ouya app on the Madcatz Mojo right now. I wanted to try it out and see what games are on Ouya everywhere. And So there's Soccertron. There's IO, which we're going to talk about a little later. Super Space Murder is on here. Is on here also. Not all the apps or games are available, as you can see here in this on the Discover here. Especially like this right here, the Double Stallions developer playlist. They have more on if you look at it on your on the Ouya. But it's good to see that most of the games are available on here. I'm surprised we don't see more, but hopefully eventually that they'll be updated. Or I think what it is some of the developers haven't actually went into the settings and just clicked on the little checkbox. Because I think
To say it's compatible.
right, I would think they just have to go in there and activate it, pretty much. Because most of the games are now. I think I heard when most of the games are submitted to the store, it tests for the Madcatz Mojo also, and if it's not compatible, for whatever reason, they won't allow it, but they'll still pass the Ouya version. And I don't know. We have to ask some developers about that and
I'll
see
let
how
you know.
that. Yeah, definitely have to see how that works. But the next biggest and baddest thing is what we're going to talk about next is IO, which recently released a re-release. I think because it said something about they were back, and REA will let us know about that. But they have a new update now where they added 25 impossible levels. They're extra tough, and we have REA here with us, and he's gonna talk about IO with us, and you know we have a few questions for him, and he'll talk about the game and talk about his studio, Gamious.
Awesome. Welcome to the show, are you? Are you there?
He unmuted.
Yeah. And now he's just, well, maybe we're having some technical difficulties here.
Okie dokie, but
Oh, I muted again.
click on. There you go. How we doing, REA?
Maybe it's possible that did you maybe mute your mic when you were trying to mute it on
On your computer?
yeah, maybe I accidentally muted it on your computer as well. Well, I was trying to figure that out. I tell you, I didn't get very far on IO. I got like the first, dozen or so levels, and then it got so tough I couldn't even do it. I was like, spending like an hour just trying to get past one level. It was crazy. It's a fun game, really fun. If you've never
Right.
played it, IO is it's more of just like a puzzler where you have the ability to grow and shrink your character, which is, I guess it's. I'll have to ask when he gets the mic situated here, but is it a ball or is it just like a?
Can you hear me, guys?
Yep.
Oh, there you are.
Loud and
Ah,
clear.
thank God. Okay, I'm sorry, don't know what happened there. What was the question?
Oh, I was trying to figure out what the character is. Is it just a
Yeah.
just a ball? Is it a disc?
Well, it is kind of a ball. The game originally was developed during a global game jam in 48 hours, and at the very first conception, it was a snake that eats its own tail. So that's what it was originally, but well, we modified it quite a bit over the last couple of years. It is a ball, and it can grow and shrink in size, and that changes the performance, or it changes the mass and the weight of the ball, which helps you move around these incredibly hard levels. They are quite hard. And it's when we made it, we really wanted to kind of, I don't know if you guys remember Monkey Ball, but we wanted to make it Monkey Ball hard, but then in 2D. So Monkey Ball was the little monkeys inside balls that on Nintendo platforms that where you have to move the platforms around in order to move the ball from beginning to end, and it was ridiculously hard. And this one is hard as well. But with the new update, we've made a tutorial, which helps. We didn't have that in the original release, so that should make things a little bit easier. But to counter that, we made 25 new levels in the Impossible pack that are very, very hard. Only for the people who really want to challenge themselves.
Have you beaten them all yet?
I have, but I can spend more time on it than most people maybe. And I've definitely we develop in Unity, so the first time you see the levels, you can play them on keyboard and with keyboard controls. And definitely in the beginning that was a little bit more responsive and easier for me at least. But once we knew we were going to Ouya, we optimized everything for controllers,
right?
Which is, I think, the best way to play this game. I did beat all the levels, but I don't have gold on all the levels because beating the levels is hard enough, but some gold times are incredibly difficult.
I'd imagine so. Since its original release, how has IO been doing as far as like, I know that you guys have brought it to a couple game conventions and things like that.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. Well, the release on IO was on Ouya. Sorry, yeah, it's very confusing. IO, Ouya. The release on Ouya was very good for us. Number one, because we had another release on our belts, so that's always good. It's good for a team and good for motivation. And it's always good to see new people playing the game and getting feedback. And I think at the moment we're still. About 500 people have reviewed the game on Ouya, and we're scoring a little bit over 4 stars, so we're very happy with that. We had about almost 6,000 downloads, which is not super great, but for us it was okay. And we had about 150 sales, which is not great. It's about a little over 2% conversion rate, but the release on Ouya was not, we knew we weren't gonna sell tens of thousands of copies of the game, but we did want to get the game out there and give ourselves and the game some visibility, and that worked very well because we were contacted by some very interesting partners shortly after the release, and we're still in the process of developing the IO for other platforms, and we're quite far now, and we're very happy with that. So the release itself on Ouya was generally very positive, not just because of not because of the sales figures maybe, but all the other stuff, the visibility, new players, getting a little bit of a community going, was all very helpful for a small developer. So we're very, very happy we launched on Ouya.
Yeah. Yeah, the Ouya community helped name the game, right?
yeah, that's true. That's true. The original game name was Size Matters, which is a great name, but it has some connotations that we didn't want to give the game, and also the name was already taken, so it's quite easy to, start thinking of a new name. But coming up with a new name was very, very difficult. We had, I think, literally about 50 names pass our eyes internally before we did a name the game competition, because there's a lot of good names that came out of our brains with regarding wheels and balls, and and bad ones as well, by the way. But and gravity and speed, and there's all they were all very literal.
All right.
And once we asked the community, a lot of those names were very literal as well, including one of the users gave impossible, the name of the expansion, as the name for the game, and we liked it a lot, but we didn't want to. We didn't pick it as the winner. Eventually, we picked IO, because it's IO is it's a little bit abstract, as the game is, and we like that feel for the title as well. IO is also a moon of Jupiter, which has nothing really to do with the game, but it's kind of a little surreal and out there. And if you flip the logo over, you could see a small paddle with a huge ball rolling on it. So we liked IO because of different things, and we felt it was right for the game, and we kept the impossible name mentioned for the DLC. And we everybody who came up with a name for the game is in the credits. So if you're interested in those names, it's a long list, but they're in the credits, and or in the Ball of Fame, as we call it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's terrific.
Yeah, earlier I went and I looked in the credits and I saw that your name is in there. You actually submitted some a name for the game.
I already submitted. I also submitted names. I wanted to get a couple off my chest. We usually, I mean, at Gamious, I can talk to you a little bit about what we do, but it's a very team-oriented thing. Anybody can add anything to the game, and if it's well received, then it will probably make the game. And I had a couple of names suggestions that I wanted to get in there, and they didn't win, obviously, but yeah, it's you know, we try to do a lot, a lot with a lot of people. Like, you've got the level designers up there now.
Yeah.
Gamious, we call ourselves the collaborative games company. It's because we like to think of new concepts, or have other people come up with game concepts, and then we look for good freelancers, students, people who want to work whenever they have time to create the game with us on a revenue share basis. Which is for us very sensible, because it means we don't have to invest a huge amount of money and time into one title, and then if the title doesn't go well, doesn't do well, you kind of out of money. So we can kind of spread our time and lower the risk involved, and we can do multiple games at once. And for people who join the team, they get to, for some people, they get to do games besides their day job, or do start their gaming career in gaming after they finish their studies and they don't have a job yet. So, for instance, the level designers that you put up just now, we talked to several different people. One was an architect student who was still looking for a job, but he liked games and he wanted to, get involved somehow. And we gave him the level editor, and he made lots of very good levels with a totally different eye than we had before, just because he came from a different perspective. And so he got a small part of the revenue, and he's in the credits, and I think he's in with an architect agency right now, but he made a game. So we're very happy with it, and for IO it worked really well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were part of helping the level design too. Which which ones did you do? You can't remember.
Oh no, I can't remember. I need to go through
175 of them.
Also, there's 175, and they all have different names, of course, and I wouldn't know where they are placed in the level order at the moment. I know me and one of the other producers did the first level order for the first 150, which is quite a job as well. This is a difficult level, by the way, level 10. Yeah, we
So
just now one go. Can you go one up?
it might be. I might be on it. This might be a little lag.
Oh, right. No, I think it's the top one. Yep, with the lava. This is the number 10 level in our tutorial. And 2 days ago we changed it out for a different level because this is just cruel. You have to make a very difficult jump over lava in the beginning, and you're. Well, I hope you're not going to fail, but you are going to fail. Yep. And if you do make it, you need to activate a little mechanism, and then you have to make the jump back again, which makes it doubly hard.
Right.
Also, the little corners that you bounce off have been heightened a little bit, which was, I think, a mistake, but it's still in the game. So you need to go like not full speed, but not too slow, and you need to be small, but not too small.
Right.
And once you're in the air, that you have to play around with your size a lot. But once you're like slowly, well, that was almost good. Once you're kind of hovering and still mid-sized, and you shrink very quickly, and then you kind of shoot through the air because you turn light. You lose weight all of a sudden,
Right.
and then you can travel huge distances.
Nobody's probably going to believe me, but I actually did this the other day, and I went over and I came back.
Yeah, really? Oh, good. Yeah, it's difficult. But I was going to say we just changed this level out for a different level to end the tutorial with, because I mean the game is hard enough,
Right.
and to ruin it for people at the end of the tutorial is just not the best of. Yeah, it wasn't very well planned. We kind of like the cruelty of IO, but sometimes it's too much, and you have to hold it, rein in it a bit, especially because we are so used to all the little tricks and the feel of flying around with the ball and getting it up in very high places, which seem impossible sometimes, but they are all finishable, and all the gold times are reachable, but it's a chore.
Yeah, put in some work.
Yeah. So forget about this one.
We sit here all day watching you do this one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do it again. No one's gonna believe me.
I don't believe you. I think you're lying.
I forget.
See, nope, hit a wall. Boom. Nice. So, what? I know we just heard about the new expansion that is coming out with the impossible levels. What else do you guys have going on for IO? Are you planning on continuing to develop more and more levels for it? Is it going to just be like this ridiculous game with like thousands of levels that you'll never be able to complete eventually, or are you going to maybe do like a part 2, or how? What's in store for the future?
Right now I don't know if we actually had a big PR thing about it. We made the soundtrack available, which we liked a lot. It's on the website. But the next big thing for us is to bring it to other platforms. So, like I said before, we're talking to people who actually found us on Ouya, which is great for us. So we're looking at a Steam release quite soon, and a mobile release, but that will take a little bit more time. And maybe on NVIDIA platforms as well. So the NVIDIA is a handheld device called the Shield, which we have IO working on already. So we are kind of on a couple of different development tracks, one for PC, one for mobile release, and one for NVIDIA, which takes a little bit more time because we are very small studio and our time is limited. We can't be as fast as we want to be sometimes. So that's kind of the plan for the next couple of months, I would think. We are not going to have new levels within the next month or two. I think the mobile release takes a long time, partly because of well, mostly because of the controls.
Right.
The controls for this game are paramount. I mean, they need to be spot on. If you have a if you can't control the ball IO well, then it's going to be extremely frustrating. So we've got it working on mobile devices in the office, but the tablet controls, just because of the way your hands are placed. Yeah, you got it. Ooh. The tablet controls are need a little bit of polishing, and then for Steam we probably need to do some extra work as well to get that, get everything the way they require it to be. So yeah, for the next couple of months, I hope that we can release IO on at least 1 or 2, maybe 3 new platforms, and find a couple of partners, platforms that like what we're doing and are interested in a long-term long-term relationship, not just for IO but for our other games as well. And definitely, if IO does well, we can do an IO 2, or we can do 175 levels extra, because it's not that hard to do new levels. I mean, most of the work is done. It comes down to creativity now, and good level design, which is not always easy. But the game can grow, but right now it needs to grow, but with new platforms and a new audience.
Right.
Did you know that you can play IO right now on OUYABrew.com's Ouya Arcade?
Ooh.
Actually, it's not really. It's just a link back to you guys. What I've done is I've taken just pretty much any kind of or any kind of game that's available for the web platform as well, like know, HTML5 or whatever, Unity web player, and we'll link back to people who have that. So if you go to OUYABrew.com and you hover over the game section, you click on the Ouya Arcade. It's in the second row, I believe. Yeah, it's the first one on the second row, at least it is for me, but your screen resolution may change that. But I play it on there a lot too when I'm supposed to be working at my other job. But
yeah, we like to put all our games up for play, and we haven't been able to do all of our games yet, but we will. What I said earlier about collaborative game development, we also like to get the public in as soon as possible. If we have anything that's in alpha or beta that we are happy showing, then we will, because getting the audience feedback sooner is just way better. So the IO web demo is available, but we're doing our other games. We're putting them up as well. We really want our website also to be a little bit of a spot for, I don't know, well, not hardcore gamers, but people who are interested in development, to see how a game goes through its different stages, and we really want to share that with everybody. So we'll be doing that a lot more, but for IO, the web demo is available already.
That's really neat that you guys are doing that, because I myself, we started developing a game as well, and you're right, like what it was even a couple days ago compared to what it is right now is two completely different things, and it's very tough, I think, for most people to really get a grasp on just what kind of real effort it takes to make this kind of stuff happen. Even programming aside, like just the level creation, like you said, or graphics or audio or music, whatever, there's so much that goes into it, just things you don't even think about. You press a button and it's supposed to make a sound, and that sound has to come from somewhere, and it's got to be, it's just so much.
Yeah.
So it'd be really interesting to see.
Yeah, but I mean, normally we try to write blogs and dev blogs about all of our games and about the company, but sometimes it's you have other priorities. But there's just so much that you can't show, want to show but can't, because it takes too much time. For instance, on IO we had at some point when we started testing with different controllers, we came upon a controller that if you used the D-pad, the ball would instantly reach top speed instead of gradually gaining speed, which is fun, but obviously breaks the entire game, as it's, you know, a second can make a huge difference in this game. So once you, that's the kind of stuff that you can't really share with the audience, because I don't know, a dev blog, or it would just take too much time to explain such a little thing and why it's annoying for us, and what we did to rectify it. But there's, you know, stuff like that happens on a daily basis, and it would just be great to get people in earlier. Most of the time we can show art. That's always very, I know the visual stuff is always very easy to understand for people, where you say, well, this was our prototype art or our first concept art, and then we started making assets, and these assets weren't good, so we turned them into something else. And you can show different pictures, and people kind of in their minds get that, you know, what happened, and they can imagine what the discussions were or why it went one way, and maybe they like it, maybe they don't. But the visual stuff is very, because it's visual, very easy to understand. But all the programming stuff and level design as well. I mean, we've made there's 175 levels in the game right now, but we have made, well, I think at least 300, maybe 4. That there's just, we made more levels that didn't make the game than did. Mostly uninteresting levels, otherwise they would have been in the game. But you need to try out so many different little mechanics and different shapes and sizes. In the beginning we had about 10 or 15 levels that took about 45 seconds to a minute to complete. There was this whole, I can remember one of the levels that was a skyline of a huge city, and you would just start in one point and end at the other. And it wasn't very difficult, but it would just take a very long time, and it was pretty, but in the end we had to kill all those levels. And we had to make them and play them to find out that they weren't right for the game. So it's all those kinds of decisions that we want to, you know, kind of share with people, and share with people who are interested in development, I guess, and games in general.
Where do you guys feel like you have to draw the line, though? And I ask this as in, where you want to share and get people's opinions, at what point do you say that, you know, hey, maybe we're watering down the value of this game if everybody can see everything about it?
Well, that's interesting, because I would say about a year ago we were very hesitant to do all of the stuff I just described, but we're changing constantly towards a more open way of development. But there is definitely some point, I mean, there needs to be some kind of critical mass, or some kind of assurance for us that we're actually going to release a game eventually, if we want to post about it and let people see it. Because otherwise you'd be, I don't know, getting a lot of questions, and maybe I'm wrong, but getting a lot of questions about, you know, that one game that you showed 6 months ago, why isn't it done yet? What happened to it? And then we'd have to explain why we killed it, which might be interesting actually for developers, other developers as well. But we use about 3 or 4 different freelance programmers as a base for each game, or they all do 1 or 2 games each. Sorry, and one of the programmers is a kind of an ID machine. He needs to work on one title that we want to get finished, or want to get into a certain stage, and then he'll come back to us with 2 new prototypes. and usually they're pretty good. So we play those, and then we are just constantly prototyping 3 or 4 different games with him, and some actually go a long way before and actually get levels or whatever it is that they need, art, until we kind of find out that it's not the right thing for us to do as a company, or just because the game is not fun enough for whatever reason. And those are the games that I don't think we would show yet, although that would be a good experiment as well. You know, letting people see our failed experiments, and maybe somebody else can learn from that and discuss it. But there is, I don't know, we don't have a clear line for games that we say, okay, we are not talking about a game until moment X. We don't have that. There's just, at some point we're comfortable with a game, and we are anxious to show it to people, and we think it's in a state that it should be shown, and then we'll show it. I mean, for us, for instance, at the end of August there was Gamescom, the European consumer event in Cologne, and we took all of our games there, all the 5 games that we were currently developing, and although we were just on the business in the business area, we had a lot of good feedback on games that were prototyping as well. So I think we got a bit of extra confidence in our game making abilities, and we're now even quicker in showing other people our work. But it's I don't know, there's not a hard set line or anything. It needs to feel right, and it needs to be a project that we think has a really good chance of actually getting released.
Okay.
That sounds awesome.
Do you have any pro tips to help me beat this level?
Oh, it's very easy. You just need to take I think it's the 3rd ball, or what do you call it? 3rd circle at the end.
Drop down. Okay.
And drop down there. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to kind of make it. But I'll give you another tip for this level. The timer starts. We made a small change that people probably won't notice, but the timer for each level starts now when the player puts in their first input. So as soon as they touch the device or roll the ball, that's when the clock starts. It used to be that the clock started as soon as you restarted the level. So if you restart it and don't do anything, well,
I'm not doing anything now.
No, if you restart it and just leave it, then it'll roll a long way before the timer starting. So this is something that we need to fix, but maybe people can get gold before we fix it. So the timer doesn't start until you actually move the ball. So now you're already halfway through the level. So this is kind of a cheat. But there's in the 175, there's probably, I don't know, 5 levels that have a rolling start, and that we need to fix. So get on the 3rd, yep, and then roll left.
Yeah, and at the beginning of that one, I did the roll.
And now you need to be big. Use your mass.
All right.
Like I said, they're all doable.
Cheat straight from the development team there.
That's also one of the. Sorry, I was going to say it was one of the things that we want to do on online and on our blog is to give people, tips for levels that they find difficult or little secrets. If we, if you like right now behind the UI, you can see that the whole level's turned upside down. That's kind of a bug as well, where as soon as you enter the exit, the whole level flips, and I don't know why that is, but it does, and we kept it.
That's kind of cool though.
Yeah.
So how much is it for IO right now on the Ouya store with 175 now levels?
I don't know. I think it's 3.99, and I know that the impossible levels, the new 25 levels are free, so anybody who has the game can go and play them. But it's just stupid. I didn't even check. I don't rightly know
I think
how much it is at the moment.
because I remember when it was released, I think it was like $9.99.
Yeah, it was, but I think it had a price drop.
Okay.
And I'm not sure.
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm just not sure.
if if you I don't know if you can maybe try to like find that information, but in the meantime, we're gonna give away a code right now for IO.
Oh, wow. Great.
You guys are generous enough to give us some codes, and so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give one to our live viewers right now, and then also audio listeners, we're gonna add the code in the audio. So whenever you pull it up on iTunes or on OUYABrew.com or Ouya Central, you can listen to it and get the code for the free game for IO. All right, so let's do this. And right now, I am about to here. Let's see if I know what I'm doing. I think I might. Alrighty. And there you guys go. You guys can see that?
I can see it.
If you can see it, everybody else can see it.
I'm redeeming the code right now.
Good luck, guys. Have
You know
fun.
You know what's interesting is back on, I think it was around episode 11 that we had originally talked about IO, and I actually got a code from you guys, and now it doesn't work anymore because for whatever reason, and it's just something weird, I don't know why, but it linked to a game called IO-old, and it was still a full game, but it was like some kind of like old version that Ouya had stored up on the server.
Oh.
And
Wow.
yeah, so when I went to re-download it in preparation, because I haven't played it in about a month, just because I've been so busy. But when I went to re-download it in preparation for today's interview, I went to try to get it. It's like, nope, sorry. So they must have finally taken it down. I was like, well,
Oh, that's weird. No, I mean, I think maybe for the maybe it has to do with the impossible levels that we had to re-upload a new build for the game, and that they kind of switched it out. But I need to check that. But we'll give you a new code.
Oh, it was. I'm pretty sure that it was, something that was supposed to be taken down a long time ago. I just found it kind of interesting.
Probably when they name the game, because when it first came out on Ouya, it was called Name the Game.
Yeah, that could have very well been that, like an
Yeah,
old
that's
version of
true.
it.
That's it was that actually a little bit of a headache for us, that whole thing, because we had to redo lots of stuff, and it was just not. I don't know. It could have.
Wow.
We could have dealt with that a little bit better.
Hey, you know what? Live and learn. Just like you said, you gotta show how
Well,
those development things go.
we live and learn a lot at Gamious.
Steve, did you check your purchase playlist and see if it was on there?
Yep, it was on there. You just can't re-download it anymore. That's why I said it's kind of weird.
Okay.
But I'll get it figured out. It ain't a big deal.
Well, no, it's a good thing that you told me, because I'll check it out. I don't know when we'll fix it, but that should be. I mean, that should work. So I'm gonna find out what it is and get back to you.
Yeah, because I know with some of these, like when developers do a new update for a game, if they don't have like some kind of a store key code in their APK file, then it's not going to automatically do the update. You have to like uninstall it and then reinstall it to get the update.
You're right.
So that could be part of the problem. I'm not too sure. But what I was gonna ask also, have any plans on releasing any other games for the Ouya?
Well, we are currently developing 4 other games besides IO.
Right.
And we don't have a Ouya launch planned yet, but they're not all. I mean, only one of them is
They're still in
about to
development.
launch. Yeah, well, only one of them is about to launch. It's called Brickwit Mini. We're launching that ourselves. It's being held up by the iOS 8 update. It's a mobile game.
Okay.
We about a year and a half ago we launched a tablet puzzle game. It's called Brickwit, and it's about getting water from one place to the other by building and removing bricks. And it didn't work on phones because the screen is too small. Screen space was just at a premium, and we had to do it just for tablets. But we always wanted to do a phone version, so that's kind of done now. It's just waiting for after the iOS 8 update. It didn't work anymore, so we needed to figure out what that was and then put it up in the store again. And then there's one game called Lines, which is a really nice game that we're really happy with. We kind of created it in the last 4 months. It's about lines. There's this drawing that has certain dots, let's say a red and a blue dot, and then you get to place a yellow dot, and from that dot paint kind of grows across the drawing, and you have to be the color that colors in most of the drawing. It's a really kind of little Zen type game where you can play it for literally 20 seconds to play a level or half an hour straight, but it's really cool. We're very happy with it, and we're planning to soft launch that pretty soon. But that's just a soft launch, and but it is on mobile titles, mobile platforms. And then we have got another game called Medieval Mercenaries, which is in beta right now. You can play it on the website, but that's not really controller friendly either. So it's for us. I mean, we would like to launch, all of our games everywhere, but controls and fun. Fun is the most important thing about a game. It needs to be fun, otherwise people won't play it. And if your control setup is bad, then no one is going to have fun. So it needs to fit the platform, and
Right.
IO fit the platform really well because it's a controller game. I mean, we're doing it on mobile platforms as well now, or hope to be doing it soon. But the controls are just not as good as the Ouya controller is, and for the same reason we would love to bring IO to other platforms that have dual stick controls. So for instance the PlayStation Vita or PlayStation or Xbox Arcade, not just because there's a big audience out there, because of course there is, but because of the controller scheme. That's really important to us. Right now, Roy, the main producer for IO, is he's on holiday, but he'll be going to Indicate in a week, where IO is one of the 36 finalists for an award.
Okay.
And which we are.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Very happy with that. It was kind of unexpected, but we're going over there, and maybe we get to talk to some people who have dual stick platforms, because dual stick for IO is the way to go,
Right.
if we can. So it depends on platform. So we don't have any Ouya releases pending in the next 2 or 3 months, but like I said in the beginning, the experience on Ouya was very positive. Although we might have hoped for bigger sales, but all the rest of it was great.
Right.
So everything we got out of releasing it on Ouya up till now is fantastic, and if we can do that for other games, we definitely will, but it does need to fit the platform and the control scheme.
Right.
That's pretty interesting. And it looks like, just FYI, looks like Taze just picked up that code, so he's pretty happy about that.
Oh, grats.
All right.
Congratulations.
Developer of the newly released Weird Pong. on Ouya. If you guys
Oh,
haven't had a
cool.
chance to check that out yet, so congrats to him. And like
I
Brandon
think
said, we'll
it's
be.
a $5 price, by the way, because the game was 10 at release and it's now down to 5.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you still get the free the expansion pack for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, hey man, I mean, if that's not a reason to go buy it, I don't know what is. That's pretty amazing. So, looks like we're getting close here. Can you just kind of give us another quick overview on what we can expect, coming forward from you guys, and also where we can contact you if people want to get involved? How you said you've got certain people doing things for you
Yep.
and all that.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, most of the information is on Gamious.com. Like I said, also the playable web demo and the beta for Medieval Mercenaries is on there, and you also will find information about our other games, our devlogs, and indeed collaboration, and how we feel about that, and what we do in a general sense. Yeah, for the near future, we've got a couple, like I said, Brick with Mini coming up in a week or two, and then you should hear more from us about a game called Lines in a couple of months, and Medieval Mercenaries as well, and maybe next year, beginning of next year, also a game called Turmoil, which is about getting oil, finding oil in the ground, getting it up, and then selling it to the highest bidder. It's a bit of an old school game, but yeah, we have a couple of old school gamers at heart in the company.
Oh, of course, that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah, we got a couple of Warcraft 2 pros, and so we like strategy games, and we really want to bring that to a new audience, like today's audience.
Right.
That's why Medieval Mercenaries is a very simple strategy game, and it's playable on the web now. But the goal is to get it on mobile platforms, because it's a game that you can literally play one turn and then just put it away again, or play 10 turns against 10 different people. It's a very cool little game. And yeah, that's kind of for what Gamious does. Collaboration, that's what we're about, and like I said, we're trying to share as much as we can, as soon as we can. We are quite diligent with our devlogs and Facebook and Twitter. It's all /Gamious if you want to try and find us. It should be easy. Yeah, we want to get people involved, get gamers involved, other developers. If you guys, anybody has questions, you can always shoot us a mail. We'd be happy to answer.
That's terrific, and I think that hearing what you're saying there is kind of going to steer me in that direction as well, because I'm very not wanting people to get involved right away, because I don't feel like I want to release an inferior game to people. But you're right, if the community doesn't enjoy it, then you're nowhere. So you really got to kind of get that feedback as soon as possible, and do what you can to get them involved.
Yeah, I mean we've made that mistake in the beginning. We've been doing this for about 3 years now, and to be honest with you, at the beginning we really thought that we would be able to get lots and lots of games going alongside each other if we would just stack up on producers in-house that talk to everybody who's sitting at home or wherever they do their work. Outhouse, then we would be able to do 20 games at the same time and maybe release about 10 a year as a global platform thing. But we kind of scaled it down a little bit because we weren't able to control the quality is maybe not the right word, but we were spreading ourselves really thin across all these projects, and therefore the quality just went down. And we had at some point 21 games in development at one go, and like I said, now we're down to 5. Well, a little bit more, 6 or 7, and it's much more manageable, and we're way happier because we get to spend more time on each project and kind of cherry pick projects and make the best out of all of them instead of having to I don't know, sacrifice one project to launch another. So it's we've had a very long but quick learning curve, where we made so many mistakes. We're in such a much better spot right now, and one of the mistakes that we made, that it's just we would not show a game until it was almost done, and then we would find out this horrible thing in the game that made nobody want to play it, and then we'd had to go back to the drawing board, and that's just something you can't afford anymore.
That's true.
So it's for us it's the mistakes that we made are now pushing us to go more open and communicate to everybody quicker, platform holders, but also consumers and people who are just interested, developers.
Well, that's terrific. And thank you so much for joining us today as well. I know it's got to be tough taking your time out, to come.
No, it's okay. I'm missing Derek Jeter's last game.
Oh man, well, we won't keep you. Be sure that if you guys are going to listen if you guys are listening on OUYABrew.com or Ouya Central TV, or if you're going to be listening on iTunes, you can also catch the second promo code for your copy of I/O. That's going to be for our audio listeners, for the people who aren't listening live and who only have the ability to listen to it on like iTunes or something like that. So stay tuned for that, and thank you again for joining us today. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Terrific.
Thank you.
And Brandon, take us out, man.
All right. So you guys that are listening or viewing us live, you can actually click on the link that I have there in the video, and you can push the I/O to your Ouya now and download it, give it a try. If you like it, buy it. Hey, but that's the OUYAcast for this week, and thanks for listening, thanks for watching. Join us we have no episode next week.
No episode next week. I'm out of town. I'm going on vacation, taking a break.
All right, so we'll be back in 2 weeks, and that will be on October 12th. And so in the meantime, you guys have fun. Listen to our other episodes if you missed any of them, and we'll catch you in 2 weeks. Have a good day.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye-bye.